Competence is currently a very important issue for us all to address. It means that across all regions, we have to work together to demonstrate that all our employees are able to perform their jobs to the standards that have been set. At the simplest level, competence is about doing something properly and safely. For example, completing a task using the correct company procedure. For example, completing a lift or making a connection and so on. Most of the time, it is easy to see when a tool is broken or when something does not perform the right way. But it is not so straightforward to do this with people. Usually, they want to get the task done and will do their best. But sometimes not in the best or correct way. This can be unsafe and ineffective, and can place people and equipment in danger's way. For a person to be able to complete a task, it means not only knowing what you need to do, but knowing how to do it. It's a combination of knowledge, skills and understanding, and being able to perform safely and efficiently. Our competence system is designed to make sure our rig sites are manned and operated by people who know what to do and know what action to take when something is not right. We need training to develop individuals and supervision to make sure standards are maintained. Assessing competence is crucial for you and the company. This means checking people's levels of awareness and knowledge of basic tasks, company procedures, and work instructions. Their ability to perform tasks unsupervised and communicate well about them. The individual must show that they understand the tasks and know their own limitations when it comes to performing them. And they must be able to deal with the unexpected and stop the job when necessary. So basically, it's about being able to do a job, knowing what we're doing it for, and why it has to be done safely. Competence makes sure everyone is safe to carry out a task, create a safe environment, and meet clients' requirements and expectations. It helps individuals to develop their skills and knowledge, and provide a path to promotion and recognition. Okay, but what about your role as the competency assessor? Well, it's to make sure that company standards are being met. Assessment requires a proactive and hands-on approach to judge people's strong points and ongoing learning needs. You're an active, dynamic part of making sure that this happens. This means being organized, judging competence thoroughly against the standard, giving constructive feedback and completing assessment records. Good communication is one of the key skills of an effective assessor. Your role is to make sure the person knows the company's standards to be met, that they feel confident and ready to be assessed. When assessment has started, you need to give ongoing, regular constructive feedback. It's important that the individual knows what they are doing well and any areas where improvements are needed. Together, you'll agree a way forward for this to happen. Your involvement must always have a result, whether it's to confirm they've met the company's standard, or to suggest that more training or practice is required. So, let's take you through the process of being a competency assessor. First of all, the things to think of and do before you start. Good preparation is vital. As an assessor, you need to be clear on what you're going to be assessing, and confident that you have enough experience to assess the task. You should make sure you're prepared and organized before you speak to the individual. At this stage, it's about communication and putting the person at ease, especially if they are new to the assessment process. You need to explain what you are going to be doing, why it's important, and roles and expectations. As part of this, consider the following. What company standards are you going to assess? Is the person happy they can meet the standard? What will you assess and how will you carry out the assessment? When and where will you be doing the assessment? As you're planning, make sure you choose the right opportunity and task, you are familiar with it, and with the relevant company standards, and that you know how you're going to progress with the assessment. Do not make it feel like a test. It's not pass or fail, and be ready to adapt and grab opportunities as they come up. Now let's move to the assessment itself. You want to show that the person is competent and typically we observe him doing his job as normal. It's possible that just knowing he is being assessed will make him feel uneasy. Be aware of that and do not do anything to make him feel uncomfortable or put any extra pressure on him. Be natural, friendly, and try to make the experience feel as if it's just a normal part of his routine. As far as he is concerned, he is just doing his job. It's up to you to see that he knows what's required and is reaching the set company standards. The more careful you are at choosing the right tasks to assess, the easier it will be for both of you. You'll be doing more than just observing, though. Discussing and asking questions to make sure he has a good knowledge of procedures and company standards is a vital part of the process, and success will depend on you developing and applying your own communication skills. At this stage, it's important not to make things too complicated. Make sure everything you discuss is relevant. Do not start using technical terms, big words, or asking difficult or trick questions. Questions should be open, as this requires the person to give you a response. Do not add pressure or make the individual feel uncomfortable. It's also good to use what-if questions, as these show that the person knows what to do if things go wrong. For example, what if such and such a thing happened? It's about two-way communication, so keep it as straightforward, open, and friendly as possible. Do not make it feel like it's an exam or test. So, in summary, keep things relevant and straightforward. Use a good questioning technique, and remember that open questions are best. Do not overcomplicate things, and avoid trick questions or closed questions, which need just a yes or no answer. When the assessment's over, it's time for constructive feedback. It's an essential part of the whole process and should be given as soon after the event as possible. It's part of the learning curve, helps people to develop, and lets them know how they are doing. There may be areas where they are not meeting the necessary company standard. So you have to point that out to them, explain the issue, and agree on what they can do to resolve it. If that is the case, it's important for you to handle it carefully. Take care not to embarrass them, and make them feel you're there not to criticize, but to help. Be honest with them. Talk about exactly what they are not doing right and point out the consequences it could have. Then discuss with them what needs to happen to resolve the issue. It's important to reach an agreement on what should happen to help them. It might involve extra training, further discussions or more experience. Keep it all to the point and do not try to talk around the issue. It'll obviously be easier if things go well, but it's still important to use the feedback to reinforce their behavior. Once again, give feedback as soon as possible. Keep it specific and make sure they know you're sincere. Do not just focus on results and goals. Praise them for making an effort and progressing positively. Make them feel that they are contributing significantly to the whole operation. Be encouraging and positive. Make them feel good about themselves. This has only been a brief look at competency and the role of the assessors. Further training will be provided, but everyone has to play their part in making it work. Thank you.